Hey everybody, and welcome back to another week of the Formula Vee series here on iRacing. We are coming down to the wire. This is week 11 of 12. And I have to say, this is kind of my punt week. Every so often you have a week where you just can't stand the track. I want to do a race and get out of here and basically count my losses. I don't want to try to maximize my points. I want to try to increase my I rating or safety rating. I just want to get a race done and get out of here, and that is this race. This race is titled 12 Minutes of Eternity because I have to say, this is probably some of the longest 12 minutes of my life. The reason is, this track is a spin magnet, and every single lap I was like, oh my gosh, don't spin here, don't spin there, don't spin there, and really it was just more stressful than it was worse. Get ready. Here we go. Now, we started 10th because we didn't qualify, and there were some other cars that were a little lower numbered than us that didn't qualify. I'm taking it easy at the start here, just kind of laying back. Now we're back in the 11th place. Seeing if, there we go, 12th place, and then we come up to a car here on the right who would prefer to be last, so we'll let him take last, so we'll just go ahead and slide on into 11th. And, well, here we go. Big old spin action, all kinds of cars, all kinds of mayhem. All I know is, next thing you know, we are in 5th place. So, 11th to 5th in one turn. Let's see it. So the blue car here gets a little impatient, gets in the back of the red car, and then goes off and boom, right into the pink car, who was trying to avoid the whole thing. So, what do we learn here? The blue car just needs to be a whole lot more patient because first lap, that's like the 4th corner. All they had to do was be a little more gentle, and I'm sure everything would have worked out and they'd have a nice fun race. Instead, they ruined their own race, and they ruined about 4 other people's races because he's a little bit too impatient on that first lap. So here we are, running through our second lap. Now, these are quick laps. We're running about low 57s, and I have to say, we're not the fastest through this course. Really good laps are going to be about 55 seconds. We're running low 57s, upper 56s on a good day, or a good lap, and so I am completely satisfied being in 5th place. If you look at the bottom right there, you're going to see that we got some cars coming up behind us, and I would say for the rest of this race, keep an eye on that. We just lost a guy, he just spun out, so I didn't go and do a replay on that. He was behind me, but basically he got in the grass coming off the last turn and slid across the track. He's gone. He's done for. And we're going to see that happen a few more times. Quite frankly, I think I did a great job in not spinning because everybody else around me seems to have had that big wreck first lap, and then we've got a few contenders coming up behind me that then just managed to spin themselves out of the contention. So directly in front of us, we've got 3rd and 4th. Way off in the distance, occasionally we see 1st and 2nd. I've got a guy here on my tail end. Thankfully, he has learned how to be patient. So he's just kind of sitting back there. We know he's faster. He knows he's faster. I know he's faster. We're all just looking for a good place to basically allow the pass. Now, I'm planning on going wide up here and letting him take the inside line. That was where I figured he would take the pass, but no, he just held back. So I'm like, okay, all right, buddy. Now, this is one of the infamous corners. It's a high-speed corner, but you can't go too quick because you'll run right off the edge there. You come in at the wrong angle, back in and spin out. So every lap, that is the corner I'm worried about. And this is pretty much where he set me up. He knows what I'm going to do. He's followed me the last few laps. He knows I take the outside line here. I cut in. I went and left him the inside, and he went ahead and took it. And and made a nice clean lap. A nice clean pass. But now I'm thinking, oh, are we almost done? How many laps do we got to go? I see we have 5 laps into the race, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we've just started. So I will admit that the rest of the race, quite frankly, for watching, is pretty boring. But driving is not boring at all because, again, I'm worried about spinning out in about 3 of the 5 corners on this track. Right here, hard on the brakes, downshifting, I want to take it around. I don't want to get on the curb, and I don't want to go too far out because that's pit entry. If I get too far into pit entry, I'll get a penalty, basically speeding in the pits. Here's the spin zone. Hard on the brakes, trying to slow down. Stay off the curb because that is a big boy curb. We don't have a lot of track here. The track is a little narrow, so again, we can't really slide out to the edge of the track. Here we got to slow down, kind of swing wide, and then come back underneath it, kind of a double apex corner. That's a spin area because, well, we saw that in the first lap. Here we got that tap brake, just come on in, and then try not to spin out, like I said. So the entire race, let's not spin here, let's not spin there, and let's not spin there. Like I said, this is not my track for this particular car. It was not a fun race whatsoever. I'm glad to be once and done it. Next week we've got what looks like a fun near oval coming up, week 12. I've never raced there. I don't think I have raced there, and that's going to be the last week of the Formula Vee series. I don't know if we're going to do another season of the Formula Vee or we might move into something else. The next season, which is going to be the last season, is going to take us through the end of the year, and we've got a lot of games coming up, so I might just really not do much with iRacing in season 4 simply because we've got coming up. There is a NASCAR game coming up in October, or late October. There is Forza Horizon 5 coming up in early November. And then we have Age of Empires coming out the end of October also. And then we have, of course, Farm Sim 22 coming out toward the end of November. So I don't know how much time I can really commit to for iRacing in season 4. So I might just mess around with it a little bit, but not do anything super competitive to try to run a whole 12-week season. So we'll just have to see. Coming up halfway through lap 8, we have a total of 13 laps in this race. To give you an idea of how many more laps we got to go, we got another whole 4 laps to go. And yeah, like I said, every lap, like, this is almost over. This is almost over. Every lap, I'm freaking out. Don't overbrake. Don't miss my braking point. Don't slide into the grass. Be careful about hitting too much of that curb. Right there's the start-finish line. We get up in the 4th just to keep it from revving out, and does help us brake for this corner because we downshift, get a little bit of an engine assist braking there. We run wide, like I said, through that corner, then go through the inside here. Careful through here. Thankfully we didn't spin. Like I said, all I was worried about the entire race was spinning out. Honestly, I consider myself doing a pretty good job. I'm losing contact with 3rd, 4th, and 5th, so there's a 3-car battle up there. Ultimately, I'm losing contact with them a little bit every few laps, but given the fact that I can still see them, and I had maybe about 45 minutes to an hour of practice before I got into this race, and probably 20 minutes of that hour of practice was just spinning lap after lap after lap, trying to figure out braking points, braking pressure, throttle areas, how hard to go on the throttle at certain points, and started feeling a little more comfortable with the track, but I don't want to push my luck. I figured if I ran 4 or 5 races here, I would probably either crash out or just spin out probably 3 of those 5 races. And at the end of the weekend, it probably would be a negative gain on my safety rating. So I figured, let's get out of here. I did manage to improve the safety rating by a whole 1/10 of a point. So we went up from 2.5 to 2.6. Again, I call that a victory. We didn't lose any points, and we are done this week. And looking forward into next week. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you experience the last few laps of this race. Like I said, we go through lap 13 is the white flag.
My bad, sorry, man.
And there we have it. Came in 6th place. Not too bad. Started 10th. Fell back to last place. And managed to pass half the field when they all spun out in the 4th corner here. But at the same point in time, we only lost 1 position after the first lap. We managed to not spin. A few people came up behind us, got kind of close, probably within about 3/4 of a second, and they managed to spin themselves out. So therefore I think we did a pretty good race here on the Jefferson circuit. This is one of the tracks that you run pretty early in your road racing, iRacing career, but typically you run it with the Mazda MX-5, which is a bit more stable than this car, especially under braking and off throttle. So I hope you all enjoyed the race, and look forward to week 12 of the Formula Vee and see where we end up falling in the entire season. And until next time, happy racing.